Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. And in this video today, guys, I'm going to explain to you something I get constantly asked in my life in general and also here on the channel. And that is it scripturally okay to defend my family, my own life, and others with deadly force if necessary? And the answer to that is yes. It is scripturally based. Now, that doesn't give us license to murder. There is definitely a difference in the scripture, whether you can kill to protect yourself or if you kill someone, that's murder. The defining label for that, I would explain here for just a moment, is that if you look in Exodus chapter 20, verse 13, most people define that, and you see it on many commandments, posted throughout church houses. I wear the 10 Commandments. If you notice, they're always in Hebrew. The Hebrew word there that most people translate as thou shalt not kill, it should be more properly translated thou shalt not murder. And the reason being for that is we can find throughout the scripture times when the Most High has instructed Israel and his people, his servants, to kill the enemies of the Most High, and to kill those that are wicked. The Hebrew word is ratzah. And forgive me if I don't pronunciate that exactly on the money. It's more of a ratzak, I believe would be the more proper pronunciation of that. Nevertheless, you can check that out in a Strong's Concordance. If you have eSword, the Bible app for your computer, you can check it out right there as well. And that is to kill specifically in the means of murder. That whole context of that word means murder. Okay, now you put that in contrast and comparison to the scriptural account of Numbers chapter 31 verse 17. You can see here the Hebrew word muth, and that means to kill, okay, to use deadly force, but not in the sense of murder, more as to eliminate an enemy. And here we can see the Most High instructing his people to do just that. Now, this is only a couple examples. The scripture is full of them. Furthermore, it's up to each and every one of us to do our due diligence to search these things out to see if they be so. I wouldn't take my word for it. You need to search the scriptures. But the time is going to come when each and every one of us have to ask ourselves the question, am I going to let that person come into my home, murder me, rape my wife, kill my children, and take my possessions? Now, there's a strong difference between turning the other cheek. We're all going to suffer persecution as a prepper. If you're a person of faith, you'll get persecuted for that as well. But there's a difference between persecution and someone trying to take our life. If you look, that Messiah instructed his disciples to take up a sword. You can see right there. Now, he did not instruct anyone to kill anyone that night. Kepha, Peter, most people would pronunciate, went forward and struck the servant of the high priest, but Messiah rebuked him for that. I think personally the reason he told them to arm themselves was not to do violence toward other people, but to protect themselves in case that the servants of the high priest went to do violence toward them, because his time was at hand. And the reason he also rebuked Kepha, Peter, I believe, is because that he was hindering the work of salvation for humanity. Because had he hindered the servants of the high priest from taking Messiah to be condemned and judged, then we wouldn't have an opportunity for salvation a day without the shed blood of Messiah. Now, there's an example of that. Now, you look on the other hand, one of my favorite examples is Eliyahu. You can find written right there, scriptural verses. And please read that whole chapter in context. We can see that Jezebel and the her false ways had helped corrupt Israel, and she wanted the life of Elijah, as most people would pronounce it. And whenever they went up onto the mount, he told the false priests and prophets to make their bull ready up on the altar, and he'd make his ready. And after they were done, all of them wanted his life. But once it was finished, he showed through the power of the Most High, Yahweh spoke on his behalf and spoke through action and burnt up that offering, and it burned up the water and everything. And after that, Eliyahu got the children of Israel, told them, slay every one of them, don't let not one of them escape. And that was because that not only were they seeking to murder Eliyahu and corrupt what is righteous and what is holy, but do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So he done unto them as they sought to do unto him. Because had his offering not went through that day, I assure you that more than likely they would have had his life that day. So there goes to show you there's a righteous path of killing your enemies, and there is a murderous path. I have people that I would consider my enemies, but I don't want to go and murder anyone. I don't want to harm anyone. I'd actually like to be at peace with all people in life. But we all have enemies. We all have people that don't like us. But that doesn't give us license to go kill them, nor them to come kill us. But what I'm getting at is, most people would argue that just all around it's wrong to kill. If that was the case, the Most High would have altered and changed the words that has gone out of his mouth, and he can't do that. What we have to understand is there's words that mean certain things in the Scripture. And because of man's interpretation, many people are confused that to thou shalt not kill, and it should be more properly translated, as I said already, thou shalt not murder. It's up to you to do your due diligence to search this out to see if it be so, which it will be, I assure you, once you take time to study it. I don't like violence. This weapon, when I can lay it down one day and enjoy the peace of the new kingdom, I look forward to it. But ladies and gentlemen, man, woman, and child, you need protection. There is a time coming very soon upon this earth where that there is going to be evil people do violence to one another. I think as I speak right now, the Ferguson riots was about a month ago, I believe. And, that right there, if you project that on a scale of 50 to 100, I imagine is how violent it will be, people one toward another later, whenever the 7 trumpets of Revelation take place. And we all need to be prepared to protect our family. One last note I would make is that I had an incident myself where that someone tried to break into my home and do harm to where I live and possibly to my family. It was very early in the morning that night, and very late at night, going in towards the morning, early hours of the morning, and I grabbed a firearm and I went out of my house indisposed, not properly clothed, we'll put it that way, and chased them out of my house, shooting at them through the yard, and I proceeded to chase them through my neighborhood. And it's there I gathered my composure that if I went any further beyond my yard and had shot them, then I would be prosecuted. And it was fight or flight, and obviously I'm the kind of person that I'd rather fight than flight. I don't have respect for people that would be cowardly. We all need to stand up for what's right. We need to stand up for our families. People are dependent on you. You need to stand up for yourself. Don't let nobody run you over. But we also have to keep in mind that there is man's laws. Now, later down the road, if man's laws are not in line with the Scripture's laws, I will do what I need to protect my family. You should do what you need to protect your family. There comes a time when we ought to serve Elohim rather than men. Read that Scripture right there. So these are things you have to keep in mind. Every situation is different. If someone comes into your home today, you should protect yourself. You should not go looking for violence, but like I said, you should protect yourself. Everyone has a right to life. The Creator made us, and whenever our time is through here on this earth, He will call us to our grave until the day of the resurrection. I hope this clarifies the stance that every person should take. And one last time, I want to reiterate that we should be at peace with all humanity. But if ever put in the situation where it's us and our family or those attacking us, we should definitely do everything in our power to defend them, because that is exactly what I do, and I wouldn't tell anyone else to do something that I would not do myself. So until we see you again here at 7 Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.